Last year, I reviewed the Sofabaton X1 remote and was left with the opinion that it was a great device if you're looking for a new universal remote. I'm a big fan of consolidating the many different home entertainment remote controls into a single unit that can do everything. Sofabaton has followed up with their new improved version, the Sofabaton X1S, which includes visual and connectivity updates. The Sofabaton X1S is the update to the X1 Universal Remote that already includes a robust number of features to help control your home entertainment equipment. The X1S now includes some improvements to connectivity for faster communication between the hub and the remote. Plus, the remote has had an upgrade with refinements to the display screen. Inside the box, you'll find the same contents as before: the remote itself, the hub, the power brick and cables, and 2 infrared extenders. While the hub is an infrared blaster in itself that can reach any infrared devices within range, the IR extenders are intended for those devices which might be obscured behind a cabinet door. Or maybe you have devices that don't have a direct line of sight to the hub, like my own setup. The remote itself is identical to the X1 and still features the nicely proportioned dimensions with the tactile buttons. I'm still a fan of the carefully thought out ergonomics for both the shape and the ability to reach all the buttons without having to shuffle the remote. It's when examining the display that you'll notice the first upgrade from the X1 to the X1S. The display font has been changed from a more functional font to a more polished display. It's a small change, but one that makes the remote look more appealing in my opinion. The X1S uses the same app as the X1, and you can download it from the App Store on your phone or tablet. To begin installation, all you have to do is plug in the hub to the main power and hold the reset button to enter pairing mode. The app is where you'll be programming it to work with your various entertainment devices. Plus, the app is also where you'll be creating macros to control several devices at the same time. Just like the X1, you'll be adding devices by tapping on the plus sign at the top in the right of the app. From here, you can connect your device using 3 different methods. The most common method is infrared, covering more types of home entertainment devices. After that, devices like Google TV use Bluetooth to connect. Finally, certain other devices like Roku and Philips Hue use Wi-Fi connections to operate. For my own setup, I have 3 main devices: my Denon receiver, my Sony TV, and my Google TV. Other than the brand of your devices, you'll also need to know the model number, which is usually on the front of a receiver and on the back of a TV. The Google TV is actually listed under Android TV, which is a little confusing, but the designation for Google's platform when you buy the separate dongle peripheral, like the 4K version that plugs into the available HDMI ports. Once connected to the app, you'll be able to access all of the standard functionality. The only exception I found, which was the same as the X1, is that the Google TV remote includes some shortcuts that need to be programmed into the X1 and the X1S. My main shortcut is the one that I use all the time, and that's being able to long press the home button to exit the main menu from any app. I actually covered how to program that function in my last video. Again, just like the X1, you can create macros for the X1S. Macros are a set of instructions for multiple devices, triggered by a single button, for specific things you like to do on a regular basis. For instance, watching TV on my setup requires the receiver to power on and then the TV to power on. Then I want the main functions of the X1 remote, apart from the volume control, to be for switching between apps and navigating content. These will be assigned to other buttons on my remote. Tapping on activities at the bottom of the app launches the interface. Here you can tap the plus sign and then choose the devices you want to include in your macro. The thing to look out for is to make sure that you correctly assign the volume control to the receiver and the navigation to the Google TV if your setup is just like mine. We also have a Nintendo Switch connected to our TV, which requires at least the receiver to turn on. The Switch is connected to the CEC HDMI port, which also supports ARC, so the TV will automatically switch on and the audio will be channeled through the receiver. However, when I sit down to play and all my devices are off, I use the activity I labelled Nintendo to switch on the receiver. It's faster than navigating to the individual devices and choosing to toggle on the power there instead. As I covered off extensively in my last video, just like the X1, the X1S has the same button customization, enabling you to assign custom button functions to different buttons. You can even set different actions depending on whether you tap or long press any of the remote's buttons. As mentioned for my setup, by default the X1S doesn't support all of the Google TV functions. To enable me to recreate the home button functions, you have to program the remote. For more detail, watch my previous video about the X1 for a step-by-step guide. In terms of performance, I've definitely noticed the X1S connects with the hub much faster than the X1. On occasion, the X1 would take a moment to find and connect before you could start making changes. I also have the impression the responsiveness of the remote is improved, specifically for volume control, which was always slightly slower than using the OEM Denon remote. In terms of the other improvements, I find the updated and refined display to be much more appealing. It's a small change using a more aesthetically pleasing font, but it seems to make the difference to me personally. If you're in the market for a remote and don't already own the X1, then the X1S is the remote to purchase as a new owner. The improvements, while incremental, are the new baseline for the series, and it makes sense to start here. Thanks for watching, and as always, please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more videos on the connected home and personal technology.